All right, joining us on Pirate Radio Live, one of my all-time favorite pirates. I was in school working at the student radio station, calling some of his games back in the day. Sam Hinnant, the sharpshooter, joining us today. Sam, great to catch up with you. How you doing, man?
Doing well, Cliff. How about yourself, man?
Doing good. As we came on, I said, you look about the same, but just like me, I see some grays instead of the black in the beard.
Yeah, man. I'm getting grayed out, man. I've learned to embrace it, man. I
Yes, sir.
guess that's. I was telling you before we got on here that it's a lot different. Look a little different than what I did 20 years ago, man. With the beard and the grays and the bald head, man. But it's part of getting older, I guess. So
20 years, man, it goes by. Sam,
it
let's
does,
uh,
yeah.
let's talk a little ECU because I talk to your old head coach every week. Monday, Mac McCarthy joins us on the show. We talk basketball, football, NASCAR, everything going on in sports. And I asked him Monday, like, is there any Sam Hinnant stories? And I don't know you personally, Sam. I've got to know you a little bit over the years. And I said, I assume he's a good dude that probably never got in trouble. And Mac actually said, yeah, that Sam never got in any trouble. Good guy. So he didn't have any real good stories about you. You got anything about Mac? What do you remember about Coach Mac back in the day?
My first encounter with Coach Mack, and I told a story while I was in college, was when he picked me up for my visit. I went to Fort Union, which it was a prep school, it was a military school, and Coach Mack actually drove up to Fort Union to pick me up before my official visit to ECU. And at Fort Union, we had to wear a uniform. So the first thing, as soon as I got off campus, it was like Fort Union is in the middle of Virginia, in the middle of nowhere. And I asked Coach Mack, I just met him for the first time because actually Coach Dixon and Coach Stokes was recruiting me then.
Yeah.
But Coach Mack picked me up and he said, I was like, it's a rinky-dink gas station. It looks sketchy as all nowhere. I said, Coach, can you pull over here so I can change my clothes right quick? And he pulled right over without no question. And right then and there, Coach Mack been my guy from day one since then because I knew that any other coach would probably like, man, we can wait until we get to a bigger city and whatnot. But it was a hole in the wall. It was a hole in the wall gas station. The Coach Mack picked me up and let me change my clothes, man, and let me get in some regular clothes, civilian clothes, other than the military clothes that I had in prep school. But yeah, me and Coach Mack, man, that was always my guy, man. He was definitely influential in my success at ECU, and I always he has always have a place in my heart, just based on our relationship and how he allowed me to grow as a person and to grow as a man as I am today. So I
Well,
appreciate
that's
Coach
great to
Mack
hear,
always.
Sam. And he dealt with Charles Barkley back in the day, so like whatever you and the other guys did probably was nothing compared to that. So
Right. We had our times now. We had definitely experienced ECU, man. So
good,
I would
good.
say that we had some days where we had to run, steps and run suicides, and I wouldn't say not for myself in per se, but as a team we did. So we had our fun, man. I some things I won't repeat that we did back
Sure,
in the day,
sure.
man. But yeah, Coach Mack, that's my guy, man. So
Sam, man, I admit I was a bad ECU fan this past season. This was the first year I didn't go to a men's game since I don't even know when, 30 years, whatever.
yeah.
I'm not proud of that. I hope I can get back into it next year, but I don't know, man. There was a disconnect or something, man. Did you go to any games and I'm kind of getting to a point here where like I I hate that I don't see more former players. I know you're in Charlotte, you got a family, you got a job, you got everything, but like just no connection to the past at all, and it kind of it takes me out of it a little bit.
Yeah, this year I was so busy. My son again, I had him at ECU when it was his senior year. So I wasn't able to go to any games this year. A lot of the alumni, TJ, they reach out and they try to get former players in.
Well,
I
yeah,
always catch a game when they do come to Charlotte.
yeah.
I didn't get to go this year because we were out of town that weekend. But I always catch a game when they do come to Charlotte. I've been to like the last 4 or 5 in Charlotte. I haven't been at ECU since a Letterman's Day. And that's about it. May have been 2 or 3 years. My plan is to catch a game next year, hopefully in ECU or two. But I did watch it from afar. I mean, again, nowadays everything's on TV, man. So
Yeah.
every time I was able to watch them on ESPN Plus or whatever it may be, I did try to catch them. But again, they struggled a little bit. They had the one kid that was putting up a lot of points, but he didn't have many people to run with him, man. And I enjoy watching him play. But last year, I definitely went to the game when they played in Charlotte, and I probably was the loudest person in the arena, just based on how well they played. Man, it was
Yeah.
really good last year.
We had
So
another
hopefully, man.
great 4-year Pirate like yourself, R.J. Felton, last year,
Yeah,
along
RJ.
with
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan Riley. Jordan Riley
Right.
was amazing this past season.
Yeah, he's good, man.
But yeah, and so there is an effort, at least, Sam, to try to get former guys involved, invested, I guess.
It is, yeah, it is,
That's
especially
good to
for
hear.
Letterman's day,
Okay.
and they always reach out. They start that process, which is a lot different under this coaching realm than it has been in the past.
Good.
Before I didn't hear from any of the coaches before, and now they're trying to make it a thing to bring in former players. But it's just our due diligence just to try to come in
Right.
and give that support, like other schools, man. Because again, I got a lot of friends from around Charlotte that graduated from other schools, like Donnell Mack, who played at Memphis, and I played him 4 times at Memphis, and I got a couple friends that played D2 at like Wingate or West Salem State, and they go back and they're involved in their school alumni basketball program, and it's so different than ECU. Even though we don't have that history that some of these schools have, it's important though. You know what I mean? It's very very important. So.
Definitely. Mac did say the other day that, if basketball was played back when you played like it is now, who knows how many threes you would have made, but you are second all time on the 3-point list at East Carolina. What do you think about the way the game is played now, Sam? You watch it. Do you like it? Do you kind of miss, I don't know, maybe the inside game, the toughness aspect of it, or do you like all the shooting and everything?
It's. I mean, I like it. I was always a shooter.
Yeah.
And I remember last time I talked to Mac, I want to say it was during the cast for the old NC State game, and Mac said then that me and James should have shot a lot more. And I look back, I'm like, man, these kids are letting it go, man. And
Yeah.
I wish that. I mean, I tell my dad all the time. I said, I'm glad I was born in the era I was, with social media and these kids getting paid a lot of money now and there's egos and this and that. But if I played in this era now, man, I would be I'll be making a little bit of change, man. Just based on how the game is played, you know what I mean? So I mean, I watched that national championship game on Monday and them kids couldn't hit the side of the
Yeah.
backboard,
Yeah.
But again, it's different, man. And I I think that if I had played in this era right now, I would probably succeed a lot, man, just based on how the game has changed and again, I call it the Steph Curry effect, man. He changed the
Definitely.
whole game of basketball, and he's a Charlotte kid as well. But um, yeah, man, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy, the from the NBA to the. I mean, a lot of people will say that they don't enjoy the game of basketball now, man, just based on just all threes or just layups or dunks and this and that, man. But I I enjoy it, man. I enjoy watching it, man. So
Well, we'll talk. We'll definitely talk Hornets in a minute and the way they play. But Sam, we might not be having this conversation if you were playing in this era because you might have ended up at where would you have ended up your senior year? ACC, SEC? You'd have left little old East Carolina, man.
man, I'm loyal, man. I don't know, man. We'll see, man. but
No, but
but again, I also was a broke college kid, man. That was
exactly.
struggling, man. So it's true, man. I think that even back then, I mean, if you go back to the teams I played on, it was it was almost a different team every year.
Yeah.
Everybody transferred and everybody, but even they had that rule that those years. But I think that if we all had stayed together back then, we would have had a lot of success. My senior year, we started 8-1, and then had injuries here and there, and off the court things going on, and then we were downhill from there. You know what I mean? But I just think that if we had all stayed together and everybody didn't transfer because they didn't want to play in this and that. And I toughed it out, man.
Yeah.
Started my sophomore year, man. I was banged up and lost my starting job, and I'm like, I'm not going nowhere, man. I enjoy the school, I enjoy the city, man. I'm gonna be loyal, but I mean, everybody's not the same. But now, I think I read earlier in the group chat with a few of my friends. I think it's like 42% of basketball players in the transfer portal right now. I'm like, it's all a business now, man. And I don't know how I would navigate that, but
Yeah.
I know that their bank accounts are very, very nice right now. So, and
Yeah.
that's always a plus. So,
No doubt, man. I don't disparage anybody for doing what they got to do for themselves. If somebody leaves, you're right though, Sam. ECU kind of created the transfer portal, man. We had guys leaving every year. In fact, one of my favorite teams and the best teams we've had here since 2000. I think it was kind of tail end of your career when we started to get Brock Young, Morrow, Abrams, and Jonte Sherrod was a great story too because he
yep,
didn't do much early on in his career. By his senior year, he was scoring 24, 22 a game or whatever. And that was a team that was built and stuck around. And I don't think we're ever going to see that again here or probably anywhere for that
right.
matter.
Those
So,
they were all 4 year guys, and they were
yeah,
guys that came in when I was my junior, senior year, and
yeah,
they and Morrow he started from the beginning because he was just a beast, and but Brock he started as a backup. You know what I mean? He could have, and Brock could have went to bigger schools. Like they don't, a lot of people don't realize how good these guys were. Morrow had Auburn, and Brock had Wake Forest, and Jamar had VCU and all this, and they came to ECU and stuck around. And like you said, Jonte, man, that was my guy, man. I'm not saying little, he's a grown man with a family now, but Dante back then, he was frustrated, playing behind me and James and not getting a lot of playing time and we always picked on him like, you can't shoot, man. That's why you ain't playing. And all of a sudden, I'm going back to the games after I graduated and Dante hitting 5, 6 threes. I'm like,
yeah.
because he worked on his game and he stayed the course and they stayed together, man. And again, like you said, we'll never see that again. We'll never see schools or teams that stick together and go through the hardships of losing and growing together. Now, just based on everybody getting paid and everybody just looking for a check, you know what I mean? 'Cause like you
Yeah.
said, those mid-major, and I get it. Those
Yeah.
mid-major players, they score 15, 16 points a game. I can go play around the corner in NC State and get paid six figures to score half of that. You know what I mean? So I understand, man. So,
No doubt.
but yeah.
Sam Hinnant joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Sam, we'll talk some Hornets, man, because we've been waiting for a winter. I know you have. You're a Charlotte guy for a long, long time, and I got to admit, I've probably talked crap about everybody on this team other than Brandon Miller. I was thinking about it today. I've called LaMelo a loser. I was like, Khan, just another white Duke guy. He's nothing. Charles Lee, and this was no disrespect to him. I was just thinking of like Borrego and all these other coaches we've brought in the past. I'm like, Charles Lee, I don't know Charles Lee. He ain't nothing. Like
Yeah.
I've crapped on all these guys, and now I'm a stan. I'm a fan. Like I feel kind of bad that I've jumped back on the bandwagon, but they were so bad for so long. But damn,
Yeah.
they are fun to watch and. They jack up a lot of threes. I'm not gonna lie. For folks that hadn't watched them play, they throw them up, but they do play some good team basketball and have really developed a good chemistry. Sam.
Yeah, again, I'm diehard, man. So I'm everything Charlotte when it comes to professional sports, especially. So I've never seen. It's been a while since it's been this much excitement for our basketball team and our sports team in Charlotte, in a long time. And I think the main thing was, again, I was almost off the LaMelo bandwagon just based on his health. You know what I mean? He was never healthy. He was always hurt with the ankle or something. You know what I mean? And it was young, and they call the boys young and dumb, man, just based on how they how they just stuff that's not on social media, but they downtown and partying and this and that, and there's LaMelo driving crazy, man. There's a lot of things that behind that, but I think that the pick of Con Knipple has just changed this whole thing, man. When they picked him and I was side eyeing that pick at first, just based on who he was and what we needed, and I was wanting to get rid of LaMelo and want another point guard and another stable, but
And it
Con
ain't
has
the
came
same
in and
player, Sam, but it felt like MKG because we knew the number one pick was going to be great. and we were
Right.
stuck
Yeah.
with number two, and a totally different player. But it's like, man, we missed out on a number one again, and we're gonna get this guy, and he ain't gonna be
Right.
nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So he and it's been that way, man. We've been wanting like it did same thing with Anthony Davis and all the way
Yep.
back to the Shaq days and
Dwight Howard and Emeka Okafor.
Wimby,
Yeah.
like and Brandon, like we and I thought we was gonna get flagged this year, man, and it didn't happen. But I think that Khan was just perfect for this team, where he doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. We know that LaMelo is going to dribble the air out the ball. We know Brandon Miller is going to go get his own shots. We know Miles Bridges needs his shots as well. But Khan has came in, has been that glue guy for them because he does a lot more than just shoot if you really watch him. You know what I mean? And it just changed the whole this environment and the whole culture, and I think that with that, we are playing, we everybody keeps saying, why are we still in ninth? We play so well, but they don't realize that Brandon Miller and LaMelo was hurt at the beginning of the year, and we started
Yeah.
off so bad, you know what I mean? And we're playing great basketball, man. I just hope that I'm mad that we missed out on opportunity in Boston, man, but they're a good team, and again, Charles Lee comes from that Boston, fold, and they play the same way. Shoot a lot of threes, young and athletic, and I think that as we get more experience, we're gonna be tough to play with, man. So
We got Detroit tonight. We'll see if we can keep Moose out of getting in a fight again on the court.
he
But
almost did.
man,
He almost did the other night
he
with
likes
the
to
Chicken
mix it up.
State.
I have
All
said,
right.
Sam, like I love this team. They're not a championship team yet because they don't have like that veteran toughness. But if they
Right.
do have one guy ready to go, it's Diabate. He'll go with just about anybody. It
I
looks
like
like
them,
so.
man. I,
Yeah,
I like how like they find a little gems, man, here and
yeah,
there that can go along with these young stars, and he's one of them. And he's a person that plays hard and doesn't back down from anybody. And I didn't know who
yeah,
he was. And then last year, all of a sudden, we was watching and we was like, who's this guy that's playing so hard and just everywhere? And it was him. I thought it was undersized, but it fits the new mold in the NBA of positionless basketball, and it works out for us, because we don't need somebody that shoots threes. We got that already. We need somebody that's gonna play tough,
yeah.
rebound, and play defense, and bring that toughness to a team that's not backing down from anybody right now. So if we get in that playoffs, man, we're gonna be a tough out.
I agree. I agree. I was upset they got rid of Sexton, but Kobe White's been great, and it's probably a great trade. And also the Kalkbrenner. I like him a lot too. I think he's been
Yeah,
good
same.
in
Yeah,
his role.
same. Yeah, same. And yeah, Kobe White was missed the other night against Boston, man, because when
Definitely.
LaMelo went to the bench, man, Sion James, I like him too as well, but
Yeah.
he struggled a little bit playing that lead role.
Well, you've
But
watched
yeah,
basketball, Sam, and played. You know when he missed that layup on the breakaway, that was it. Like
it was
everything changed after that, man.
that changed the whole game. We went
Yep.
from about to go up 9 points at the end of the quarter to a 4 point game, and the momentum was just gone, man.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, man, again, it's fun to watch these guys, playing on national TV, not getting beat by 40 points and getting
Yeah.
that national recognition, man. And I think that we're gonna be tough going forward as long as we stay healthy, man. And health is the biggest thing, and that's always been the biggest thing with us. So.
Sam, we're up against it. I'm gonna let you run, but let's do it again, man. Let's talk. Maybe we'll talk in the playoffs, win a series or two. We can talk more Hornets basketball. I know you want to talk about your Panthers too,
Oh
as
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
a
We
playoff
gotta do
team.
that.
So
Yeah,
we'll
see that.
get you back on, man. But great to catch up. Anything? Is your son playing ball, or is he a student? What's how about your family? How are they doing?
Yeah. He's a senior, man. He's just trying to figure it out. I mean, these kids these days are different, man. He
Yeah,
had a senior year this year. Last year they won state championship in their classification, and then this year they struggled a little bit. They lost about 12 or 13 games by a few points here and there. So we're just trying to figure out what's next for him,
yeah.
And my daughter, she's in competition dance now, so I'm a dance dad now, man. So I'm going to competition dances with just sitting back watching all these girls do dances and ballet and flips and stuff like that. So that's taking up my time as well, man. But other than
Awesome.
that, man, I'm staying out the way, man. So
Stay out the way. That's a good advice right there. Sam,
right.
appreciate you, man. Well, we'll keep in touch. Thank you so
All
much.
right, Clip, man. I appreciate the Clip.